The ocean is a graveyard. It keeps its secrets beneath miles of crushing pressure and eternal darkness. But sometimes, it throws a secret back. It is December 4th, 1872. The crew of the Dei Gratia is scanning the gray, restless horizon of the Atlantic. They see a ship ahead. It's moving strangely, an erratic, drunken weave against the current. No signal flags, no movement on the deck. As they draw alongside, the captain of the Dei Gratia feels a prickle of static electricity on the back of his neck. They climb aboard, weapons drawn, expecting the smell of gunpowder or blood. They find neither. The ship is perfectly preserved. The cargo is untouched. The personal belongings of the crew are exactly where they were left. But the ship is empty. The lifeboats are gone and the people are missing. The Mary Celeste wasn't sinking. She was waiting. To understand the horror, you have to understand the people. Captain Benjamin Briggs wasn't a man prone to madness. He was a veteran, a man of faith, and a man of extreme caution. This wasn't a voyage of exploration, it was a family journey. His wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, were on board. They set sail on November 7th, 1872, with a hand-picked crew. They were carrying 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol. On paper, it was a routine job. But looking at the items left behind, a child's doll tucked into a bunk, a half-finished sewing project, one has to wonder, what happens to a man who chooses to cast his family into an open lifeboat rather than stay on a perfectly sound ship? The last log entry was made on November 25th. The ship was near the Azores. Everything was normal. Then, the timeline enters a void. For 10 days, the Mary Celeste drifted without a master. Think about the sheer scale of the Atlantic. You are surrounded by nothing but water, shivering in the cold, listening to the wood of the ship groan, a sound that, in the middle of the night, starts to sound like a voice. Did they see something? Did they hear something? Or did the ship itself become a source of terror? When the rescuers boarded, they didn't find chaos. They found the uncanny. The cargo was slightly damp, but the ship was seaworthy. The food was packed away. The captain's log stopped abruptly. The most vital piece of equipment, the sextant, used for navigation, was gone. Why leave the ship, take the boat, and leave your navigation tools behind? It implies they left in a hurry, but the ship wasn't sinking. They didn't leave because they had to. They left because they were forced to by a fear so great that the open ocean seemed like the safer option. Oh, what actually happened to the 10 souls of the Mary Celeste? The answers depend on whether you trust the cold logic of science or the dark intuition of a sailor's heart. One of the most enduring, practical theories points to the cargo itself. The ship was carrying over 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, and some historians suspect that volatile fumes leaked into the hold. It's a terrifying thought, that a silent, invisible gas built up until a sudden pressure spike or the smell of burning convinced the captain that the ship was about to explode. In a blind panic, they might have evacuated to the lifeboat, tethered to the ship by a single line, only for that line to snap in a sudden gale, leaving them to be swallowed by the vast, uncaring Atlantic. Yet some argue it wasn't the fumes, but the ocean's raw, violent power. A rogue wave, a sudden, singular wall of water, could have struck the vessel with enough force to make it shudder and groan in a way that sounded like a death rattle. In the heat of that confusion, perhaps the crew believed the hull was compromised beyond repair, choosing the gamble of a lifeboat over the certainty of a sinking deck. Others looked toward more human, darker possibilities, whispering of a violent mutiny. They suggest a bloody, desperate struggle between the men that ended with the captain and his family gone, and the conspirators fleeing into the horizon, leaving behind a tomb they dared not claim as their own. But then, there are the explanations that reach beyond the tangible. Some point to rare, monstrous weather phenomena like a massive waterspout, a swirling vortex of wind and water that could have created a scene of such localized destruction that the crew believed the end of the world had arrived. And finally, there are those who look at the silence of the ship and refuse to believe it was human intervention at all. Sailors have traded stories for centuries about things lurking in the deepest, blackest trenches of the Atlantic, entities that do not leave behind wreckage or clues, but simply collect those who drift too far from the safety of the shore. They wonder if the Mary Celeste was visited by something not of this world, a presence that didn't just take the lives, but claimed the very souls of those on board. The truth is likely lost to the salt and the tide, but the Mary Celeste remain,